there's a day in February that's an International Day of the Woman and things like that. So yes, I would say that if I need to do more along the lines of blog posting about current issues, um, without feeling like I'm going to get sued.
You're not going to get sued.
Right.
Bigger fish to fry than you.
Well, maybe that is wise advice. Maybe that's the way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Okay. So, all right. Let me. I'm going to do. Hey, Joanne.
Hey.
Hey, Joanne.
Hey, Marnie. Hey, Judy.
So I was going to just give you some kind of prep work to do and coming up with your blogs for the year. And Judy will keep yours in mind. And what I wanted to do is kind of go over the basics, give you an example, and then take your particular work that you're doing and let's brainstorm some blog posts for you, for your particular audience. So, all right. Sorry, I'm so dark, guys. Lighting is not fantastic in here.
Well, we need to say congratulations on setting your wedding date. I'm very, very happy for
congratulations,
you.
Marnie. What's your date? What's your wedding date?
February 10th.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, my gosh.
I know. We picked Mama's birthday because I said she's my angel, so we're going to.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. So, okay. Let me, I'm going to share screen. Then it won't matter that I'm dark. All right. Okay, so I just took like mine, the thing that I'm working on for the year. So I'm doing this Simply Healed package thing and I'm looking for 10 clients for the year. So I thought, okay, that's my goal. So start with your goal. What is it that you want? Do you want to sell, 1,000 of your packages that you have, your programs that you have, or whatever? I mean, what's your big goal for the year? If you could sell this thing, and it would be like I would really feel like I really made some headway this year if I do this. So pick one of the things that you want to do and make it specific. And we're going to pick it based on like one program or package of some kind, because these blog posts are going to lead people over to that. So first you want to look at, okay, what are my ideal clients? Who are they? And so I thought, okay, here's mine. This is how I'm picking mine apart. Small business owners who are making a positive difference in the world, who have important messages to share and are putting themselves out there on a consistent basis. So those are my people. And I could say that fancier, I could, whatever, but I mean, I know who I'm talking about when I say that, okay? Their typical challenges are that because they're constantly stretching outside their comfort zones, they're on a fast track of self-growth. I always say that business is one of the best ways to grow yourself, because whatever is in your way has got to get out of, whatever's off in your head or whatever's got to get out of there. So stress is usually a constant part of an entrepreneur's life, the average small business owner, because, it's going to trigger your fears, your insecurities, your old habits, your self-doubts, your criticism. Other people's criticism is going to hit you, and it's really easy to self-sabotage. So as small business owners, the buck stops with them. If they don't work, they don't make money. If they don't figure out how to, or sell something, it's all on you. You can't just show up at a job and punch a clock and get paid. You've got a lot more on you, and this imposes even more stress as they seek to create consistent income, outsource, work with a team, balance family and work, balance self-care, business demands, and deal with interpersonal conflicts. Okay, so what would you say, I mean, if you're thinking of your audience, who are they and what are they dealing with? What is the challenge that they're dealing with, and how does that permeate their life? And then what is the solution you're offering? So I put down, and you can model this if you want. It might give you some ideas on what you're bringing to the table. So I offer a combination of Simply Healed energy clearing alongside consulting from my 28 years of business experience. Having reared 6 children during those 28 years as both a married and a single mother, I'm familiar with the typical challenges that small business owners face. Okay, so notice how it's bringing in my personal life and my business stuff, and so what is it about you that makes you uniquely qualified for what it is that you do? Think back through beyond just, okay, I know how to do this, but what else helps you relate to your audience, maybe? Do you have similar challenges that they face? One thing that comes to mind is like Joanne, you were talking about how you have the spiritual angle. I mean, you have that spiritual component to you. I don't know whether you ever want to bring that in, but like Sandy Krakowski, she's got her business stuff that she does, business marketing, but she brings in the spiritual side of things. I don't know. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just saying there may be something that makes you unique and stand out more if there's a lot of competition, or I don't know how much competition there is in that particular tax lien investing, but that's a thought.
There is quite a bit.
Yeah. So who you are as a person, bringing that may galvanize your audience to you more. And sure, there's going to be some people who are like, well, I don't want to hear about that stuff, but you never know. It may bring you a really strong audience. Just something to think about. Okay, so why they need what I'm offering. So I'm looking at that the Simply Heal gets to the root of their issues. It clears the path, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to read all that. So, and then 3 benefits. And this is kind of a worksheet. I'm going to give you all these questions to ask yourself. What are the 3 benefits that they're going to receive by working with you? So for mine, I've got more of it. It clears a path. It's a guide who's been there, done that, and can tell you what's normal, what's not, what to do different. And it gives them personal confidence in themselves, because most of business is confidence in yourself and believing in yourself, and getting that stuff out of the way. So then I've got the investment that they make. Okay, and then what is it they need to know before working with me? Okay, so all that other stuff, all of this is just prep to come up with, okay, who am I talking to? What is it they need from me? What problems I solve? And as you brainstorm on that, you're going to get some of these topics that you could use for your blog. So these are some things that I came up with. And if y'all have more, I'm open to suggestions. What energy work is and what it's not. Just the basics, okay? So I know, Joanne, you've written a lot on what is tax lien investing and whatever, just the basics. Judy, you could write about what is valuing yourself. What does it mean to value yourself? How do you know if you're not? I mean, a lot of us don't know we're not valuing ourselves until, we bump up into something. How to select an energy practitioner to work with. Look out for these misapplications of the work, kind of thing. Okay, so there may be some traps, How do you know if somebody really cares about your value and helping you, I mean, like Judy was saying, Oprah versus the vagina on your head women, It's like, or maybe you don't resonate with either one of those and you want this sweet, lovely mothering woman to help you, feel your value, So, I mean, it's this personality thing, how do you know who to go to help you? Because, I mean, people standing in your value, you could have these women that are really militant, standing in your value and they're coming off abrasive, or you could have the fearless leader, or you could have this person who just makes you feel good about yourself, and encourages you, So how do you know? That might be a blog post. Which one do you resonate with? If you like the sweet grandma, then hey, Judy's it. So it's like, or you want someone with a Christian angle or not, or whatever. Okay, so why would someone need more than one energy session? Why can't you get it all at the first time? Do things come back? That's just a question that I know people ask. Typical way small business owners sabotage their success, because I see patterns and okay, where are they all doing it? So that's a possible blog post with, these are the things that would sabotage your success. So you could do that with the tax lien investing. What typically sabotage your success with tax lien investing? Or what are the typical things that make a woman start to doubt herself? What's for Judy there? Okay. Are your fears and past mistakes holding your future hostage? Is it possible that other people's stuff is holding you back? Generational patterns. Is your body giving you clues? If so, what are they? You're procrastinating in your business. What's procrastination telling you? And then I hear a lot of affirmations versus affirmations. What's the difference? Why does that matter? Kind of thing. I thought that might make a good blog post. And the kind of energetic shielding. What is it? How can it help you in your business? How do you that kind of thing. So these are just some things that I came up with. So you could, once you know what it is you're trying to promote and who your people are, then you can think, okay, well, what do they need to know ahead of time? So let's, it might be fun since there's just a couple of us here to take a look and let's just go through these. Who wants to go first?
I have some background noise, so Judy can go first.
Okay, so I'm going to save this thing under, okay, what's your goal?
Well, after hearing you, my goal would be to draw people into my Woman in the Mirror Made for More coaching program.
How many do you want?
5.
Okay. Okay. Is that a monthly thing?
No, it would be like 3 months. Yeah, like a 90-day start.
Okay.
And actually, the ideal would be to get people to sign up for 6 months, a minimum of a 6-month commitment.
Okay, so that's what we really want. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your ideal clients are?
Women between 35 and 55 who need to know that their life matters.
Married, single, what do you say?
I would say married or divorced, or married, once married, now single, either one of those.
Okay. And Christian women predominantly or not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you for putting that in. Yeah.
I mean, they're probably not the ones that are attracted to, say, the Ashley Judd situation or somebody like that, right? They're probably like, okay, that'd be the Christians, so that kind of solves that. Okay.
Well, what is her situation? I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, Ashley Judd is the one who was rallying everybody around the vagina head thing.
Oh, well, isn't she a singer?
She's an actress. I don't know if she sings
Okay.
too or not.
She's not one of the Judd sisters.
Yeah, she's one of them. Yeah, she's one of them.
And she's a redhead. How awful.
Is she redhead?
Thanks for asking that, Judy, because I had no idea what I knew she was a singer and an actress, but I didn't know about anything else.
Yeah, well, she was
Now
one of
you
the big
know.
ringleaders on that whole thing. Okay. Okay, so okay. Anything else about them? I mean, you could have people who need to know their life matters, and they could be suicidal, or they could be somebody who's just feeling unfulfilled. Or, I mean, what's their challenge? Maybe we go down to that. What's the challenge or problem? What does it look like? How does it show up in their lives?
Well, I really appreciate this conversation. I'm going to market myself as a self-esteem dream coach. So that would take it out of the suicidal range, which I'm so glad you mentioned, because I really can't handle people that are in a constant state of seeing suicide like I used to be as the only way out. So I would want to put in there non-suicidal on a consistent basis, and that have hope, have a dream, have something they want to reach for, goals that their own goals that I can help them reach. Not what I say they should do, but what they believe they want to go for. And it can be something like, I don't know, painting a picture. They've been afraid to paint a picture for years, and it would give them a great deal of pleasure and self-esteem to do that. Or it could be somebody like who we're talking about who wants to start a business, and that would increase their self-esteem, and that's their dream, and I can help them reach that. So those are really two extremes. What are your thoughts?
I think the common factors, they need encouragement and maybe some accountability and someone to believe in them.
Well, you know me, I do believe in people.
I know,
So
that's
I
why I'm
like that
thinking.
phrase.
I know.
So that's a perfect phrase. I will believe in you. I will believe in you. I like that a lot. That's me.
I know.
And another aspect, let's see, what you're probably going to tell me to can this, but there was a support group for spouses, for wives of spouses who were addicted to pornography. And I remember when I received the marketing materials, one of the phrases that popped out was, I will believe you. And I think that's a real struggle that wives have, is that they are not believed. So there's an aspect of I will believe in you, and there's an aspect of I will believe you. But that might take it into that area that I'm trying to separate out from the umbrella of letting women know they are valuable to God, regardless of their past, regardless of their circumstances, and move them on to a better future, which is more generic, I guess.
Okay. So why do they need what you're offering?
Well, I liked your word a little while ago about personality. I've known what it feels like to feel worthless, and have found ways to know that I am valuable. And my personality, however we can describe that. I'm not sure I like the term grandmother.
I'm
But
more of a mom. I always think of you more like my mom or something. You got that whole mom thing
right.
going.
How about mothering?
Mothering.
Well,
The word
some
mothering.
people don't like to be mothered either,
That's
but
true.
then the people, like in the front of my new book, those are the quotes that I have are people who say, "You know me better than I know myself." I don't know how that translates. Sometimes I feel like you know me better than I know myself. You can always be trusted. You're not going to lead me astray. You're non-judgmental. Um, those are just kind of some of the words that pop off at me at the moment. That
I think of a chicken keeping her little
Gathering her hens under her,
under her
not
wing,
her
keeping
chicks
her
under
little
her wing.
chicks under her wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chicks, not hens. Yeah.
yeah, my peeps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll just jot it down.
Okay.
Okay. You know,
There's also a delineation of not feeling really, really needy. I mean, there's some people that are. I want people who want to move forward.
okay, let me
That's
put that.
important. I mean, there's some people that are just so needy and all they want to do is whine and stay stuck. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that.
There was something I thought. Oh, man. Oh, you know, there's one thing that I've noticed with me, and I don't know whether everybody's this way, but if I have somebody who believes in me, I can do just about anything. You know, some people just need somebody to believe in them, and we've got that "I'll believe in you," but I think that's really, really important because some people probably live their whole lives. I mean, I was married to a man who believed in me so much he laid down and did nothing and let me do it all. Okay, he totally believed in me, and I could do whatever because he did believe in me. And then I was married to a man who didn't believe in me at all. So if I said I'm going to do this, he'd be like, "Yeah, whatever, okay." You know, it was like there was no belief that I could do anything, and I was in a very unconfident place at the time because of everything I'd been through. So it was not helpful to be with somebody who didn't believe in me and my capabilities or even understand them whatsoever. So I think this one, you could do an entire blog just saying why it's important to have someone who believes in you. And you may be the only person some of these women have that really believe in them, you know? I mean, and you definitely convey that. Okay, so if we kind of thumb through what we've got here, what are some typical things these women would need to know before they work with you? Chime in, Joanne, if you got some ideas. Please.
Well, what comes to me is their value in the eyes of God, that they don't need anybody else to assign them their value.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that it comes from God, and it, you know, ultimately has to come from inside them and not from I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
Validation. They don't need validation.
Validation from anybody else, but it's got to come from inside them.
Don't you think that has to be taught? Wouldn't that be one of my roles?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely. I think that's part of what your coaching is going to do for them, you know. Because I mean, you can say that, but a lot of people, they just don't feel it. Just because you tell them that doesn't mean they're going to know how to get there, you know.
And another thing would be that they're responsible for how they feel, not what's happening to them. It's not, you know, it's how they're feeling, and they're responsible for how they feel. That's probably another thing, Judy, that you're going to coach them on.
Yeah, I think that's a real important point. You're right, Joanne.
Mhm.
How about, I think I don't know if this applies or not, but like if they've got goals and all the other stuff, they may feel like they're not worthy of those, or it's not okay for them to have them for some reason. I mean, a lot of people feel like they have a perception of God that God really doesn't want them to have whatever it is that they want. So one of the biggest shifts for me was God is okay with me creating. Like for me, it was a relationship, that he's okay with me creating the relationship that I want, that I have the okay. He's okay with it. So, I mean, I don't know whether that's something that you could address, that it's okay with God for you to be happy. You know, does that,
Maybe worthiness, that,
yeah.
people somehow have an idea that they're unworthy, when
Yeah, maybe
in the eyes of God, they're worthy.
worthiness versus worth, or something like that. Or
Do you think selfishness, knowing that to believe that God wants you to, and you used the term years ago of co-creating with God, that it's okay to co-create with God, that's not selfish, it's actually fulfilling the purpose that he created you for.
right.
Lousy English language, but anyway.
And what about self-care is not selfishness?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um,
I mean, I sometimes feel selfish if I'm cutting my toenails instead of doing something productive like washing clothes. Now, I mean, how
yeah, well, that's
crazy
not
is
being,
that?
and that's not feeling selfish. I think it's just feeling guilty for not doing something. We all feel that, oh, I'm spending this time on me, or instead of, doing something else, doing. And I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Like always taking care of other people instead of taking care of yourself. We always have a tendency women have a tendency to do that,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that, and somehow that it's more important that your relationship with yourself or your relationship with God is more important than.
no.
Oh, I love that undo button.
I know. Yeah, really.
Yeah. Or what?
Well, in the Bible where it says, do unto others, no, that's not it. It's about how you feel about yourself
Love your neighbor as
and
yourself.
give,
Yeah, but
yeah,
there's something
that
that
one.
says do unto others as you would want them to do to you, something like that, or is that as you would. I know what you're talking about, Judy.
Right.
As you
Well, the
as
love
you
your
would, in
neighbor
other
as
words,
your,
treat others as you would want to be treated. Is what is the paraphrase.
exactly. I think it goes deeper into love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Right, which means
Because
you have
if
to love
I'm not
yourself.
loving yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So loving yourself there's nothing wrong with that. And I know that's something I've had trouble with, taking care of myself. I'm always too busy to take care of myself. I've always made time to exercise because that's been a big priority with me. But lately, in the past few weeks, I haven't been because I had a knee injury and I haven't been doing anything. But I'm really feeling but I have been spending time on my spiritual self. So I've still been spending time on, but before I'd feel guilty spending that time on me instead of doing work or something else. So yeah, I like that one, Marnie. Ditch the guilt. That's a good one.
And then you could do one on kind of a newsworthy blog post. about your thoughts on the Me Too thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's Me Too?
It's that hashtag that they've started of, where all of these women are coming out saying they'd been sexually assaulted or
Oh.
mistreated in some way, and then there's, they do the hashtag Me Too kind of thing. Like, it's supposed to be like giving these women a voice to say,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't get swept under the rug anymore. So it's become a big thing, evidently.
Hmm.
So, okay. So there's 10 ideas for Judy.
Wow. Look at that.
So
You are absolutely amazing, honestly.
right.
Yeah, Marnie.
Well, you came up with those too, guys. So I didn't come up with all of those. All right.
Well, thank you so much. You're really good about listening. As I've said, I hope publicly and in your materials. I mean, you know how to listen, you know how to grab out what the main points are, you know how to kind of throw away what doesn't apply, and gently and with wisdom.
I'd love to have a copy of yours, Marnie, because it's such a good model.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll send you that. All right. So Joanne, you're up
Okay.
next. Let me save it first here. Hold on a second. I want to make sure I save it with a name that doesn't.
Well, so can you send me that or put it in there?
I will. I will send it to you. Yeah. Okay. So your goal,
right.
Joanne?
Well, what I'm going to do now, Joanne, is while I told were you on when I told Marnie in the beginning? She noticed I was in the car. So I'm going to pack my stuff out of the car and head into my infusion center so I can check in, but I'll be listening the whole time through my new hearing aids.
Okay, Judy.
Sounds good.
I would love to have you chime in if you can. I know you're going to be. Anyway, okay, my goal is I'm doing a new virtual live program, kind of like what Judy's doing. It's a 6 week program, and I'll be launching it in a webinar in a couple of days on Wednesday.
That's when we get the ad running for.
Yep, that's when we got the ad running for. I'd like to have 20 new clients in this program.
Okay. So
my ideal customers are professionals and entrepreneurs who are looking for an alternative investment that they can do without a broker, without a broker, that they could do themselves and take control of their finances. They are middle-aged and have a disposable income and have savings that they want to invest. Could even be in a retirement account, and could be in an IRA. Okay.
Their challenge?
Their challenge is finding someone that they can trust to give them the information they need um, to be able to invest their money safely, because their priority is they don't want to lose money.
Well, you asked me to chime in.
Yeah, please do, Judy.
I really like the disposable income part, or discretionary
Right.
income, and I should have added that to mine, because that's real important if somebody's penny
Yeah, because
pinching.
if they can't afford you, you don't want them as a client.
Right. So you need to set that out in the beginning
Yeah.
as the high-end client. The other piece is understanding from the get-go what tax lien is, because I'm real interested in what you're going to say. To me, a tax lien is when, if I'm going to lose my house or miss a payment on my mortgage, then the government is going to put a lien against my house. So automatically, I see that term from, you understand, from a total point of
As being a
ignorance.
bad thing, sure. And you know what? But you're right. That is what it is. It's just that in some states they will sell that to an investor and let the investor. But these are all things like what people need to know beforehand, and those are all
Exactly.
blog posts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the solution that I'm offering is information they can trust. Um, to be able to invest their money safely in tax lien certificates and tax deeds. And I guess you could add to that something about getting through the fluff and the hype and the myths to to the truth and what they need to know to get started, what they need to know to invest. I'm not sure how to say that.
Okay.
And also opportunities. Let me also add opportunities. To invest passively in tax delinquent properties. Why they need what I'm offering? Because they're tired of not making much money on their investments, or losing money on their investments, or paying out a large part of their profit in fees, in, I'd say, brokerage fees. The 3 benefits customers receive by working with me. They get my attention. I respond to emails. They get step-by-step training and up-to-date information. My courses are continually updated. And let's see what else. Oh, and access to invest, not sure how to say this, access to investments that are, I'd say passive, and access to passive investments that, access to little known passive investments. Let's say that. Because these are like exclusive. Okay. I guess you could say access to little known exclusive passive investments. Well, some are passive, some aren't. It just depends on what they want. Okay. The investment for this course is $19.97. I'm offering it, you could say $9.97 to $19.97, because I'm offering it to people that I have strategy sessions with at $9.97 if they want to buy with me during the strategy session. And then I'm going to offer it on the webinar for people that buy during the webinar at $14.97. And then the regular price is $19.97.
Cool.
So I'm also offering it to my members, people that have already bought with me at $9.97, and people who have done the course before get to do it again for free.
Cool.
Okay. What they need to know before working with me.
Who's drawing on my screen? Where did that come from?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
It's me, because I'm trying to get through to unmute myself, and I'm swiping all these different things. So
okay. Okay.
So I can do it again.
Okay. Did you want to say something, Judy?
Well, yeah, I do. This is going to sound maybe ignorant.
Well, that's good, because I need to address people that don't know anything about it. I need to find out what it is they want to know about.
Okay, I have discretionary income.
Mm-hmm.
I'm above middle age, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have banks and another financial institution that manage my money.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go in for my checkups, I understand when we talk about stocks and bonds and equities and cash and all that. But if I were looking for an additional investment, I'm not hearing anything from you that would say, Judy, this is something you might want to consider. So I'm taking you back to square one, or maybe you don't want somebody like me. I mean, that's not a put down, that's just fact.
No, maybe we should put on there somewhere that these people want to make 8 to 36% on their money.
Yeah, that might be an additional factor.
Yeah. 36, Marnie.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
I'm trying to find the mute button. I'm sorry, I can't find it.
Thank you for pointing that out, Judy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in the subtitle. My book is Tax Lien Investing Secrets: How to Get 8 to 36% returns on your money without the typical risk of real estate or the uncertainty of the stock market.
There
Okay.
is the connection.
Okay. So what they need to know before working with me: what is a tax lien,
Excuse me.
and why it's a good investment. The tax lien process, how it works. They might want to see some case studies. Let's see. What else do they want to know before? Oh, some of the myths about tax liens, why they're not true. How, which are the best, well, my tax lien investing basics course kind of covers this, but which states sell liens, which states sell deeds, which are the best, what's the difference between a lien and a deed, how to find the best places to invest, how to get the tax sale information. That's kind of what my basics course covers. This course goes into, a bunch of other stuff.
All right. Well,
see.
what is it going to require of me?
Oh, how much money do you need to invest? That's another one.
And how much time and
Yeah, and
involvement
how much
is it going to
time?
require?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I go buy a savings bond, I buy the savings bond, I put it away, and I don't think about it again until I'm ready to redeem it. I mean, I know that's taking it back to kindergarten, simple, nothing level, but I'm still not hearing
Yeah,
why
no, that's a
I
great
would.
question. That's great, Judy, because some states are like that. You could buy the lien, put it away, and then not have to worry about it until it redeems. And other states, there are things that you have to do. So, yeah, so that's a really good question. It's,
Okay.
um,
I don't know what you want to call that, but I just thought I'd jot it down. So
yeah, okay.
maybe that would go under that one.
Yeah, and what I would put that under, I think I might have even had a blog post about this: time versus money. There's, some people have the time and they don't have a lot of money, and for them, they can do it themselves. They can go to tax sales. That's the other thing. Just to get a lien, there are some that have online tax sales, but a lot of times you have to go to tax sales. But money versus time, if they have the time and not a lot of money, they have to go to the tax sales themselves. If they have the money and they don't have the time, but they have a lot of money to invest, there's other ways to do it where you could get an expert to do it for you, but you have to have a lot of money because, there are two different ways, actually. One is with an agent and one is with a fund. So, I might have a blog post on investing with an agent, one on investing through a tax lien investing fund. Using an agent versus a tax lien investing fund. That's another. Yeah, and some of these things are in my book. So yeah, okay. And then there's other advanced strategies for investing in tax delinquent property. Buying secondary liens is one of them. And buying over the counter liens, which is a strategy I don't recommend and I don't do. So I've had some blog posts about that, called leftovers are
The
not good for you.
leftovers.
Yeah,
Yeah. You've already
leftovers.
got those. So you
Yeah.
probably don't need that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got stuff on secondary liens too, so we don't even need to have that in there. That's kind of we can just go with the 10 there. pretty good.
Well, do you want to put something like they need to get your book as a basis?
You can have that as your call to actions on all these, or
Yeah.
reference it. You know, I talk about this
Yeah,
more in my book,
right.
put a link. I
Right.
would definitely do that on all your blog posts, is have them link somewhere. I know
Yeah.
you do that,
And
Joe.
and one thing that I do is I have a newsletter. As a matter of fact, I'm getting my newsletter ready now. It comes out tomorrow. And that newsletter usually contains a couple of articles. And and later on, what I do is I go through that newsletter and I pick out the things to put on my blog. And sometimes in my newsletter, I take old blog posts and update them and put them in my newsletter. You know, I'll just take old blog posts and, you know, fix them up a little bit so that they're more contemporary. And then sometimes I'll use them in my newsletter. I'll use them. So I don't know if you have a newsletter, Judy, but that's a good way to start one if you don't have one. And the other thing I do in my newsletter is I do a book review of the books that I'm reading now. Like I have a couple of books that I read this last month. One was an audio book and one was a print book that I read. So I'll do like a little blurb about the books. What else do I do in the newsletter? And then I just put information about, you know, what's coming up, the webinar that I'm doing and the upcoming trainings, stuff like that.
So who signs up for your newsletter? And another question, because there's so much noise here, is when you say case studies, are those also testimonies?
Well, I have testimonials, but I have case studies that are actual results. The testimonials are just people that like me, you know, say good things about me. And they might mention, oh, you know, I was able to buy tax liens and I made money on them, blah, blah, blah. But a case study is actual, okay, this student or I myself or whoever bought this lien, paid this much money for it, and in this amount of time it redeemed for this much money, and this was the return. So it's an actual proof. And then I sometimes, if it's me, if it's my client, I don't always show the proof. I just show the numbers. But if it's me, I will show the proof. I will show either the 1099 form that shows the profit I made, or I'll show the check. But if I show the redemption check, I try to still show that 1099 form because I want to show them, look, this isn't just the money I invested that I got back. This is how much profit I made. This was my interest income, you know.
Well, I'd like to see some testimonies. I mean, we're talking about me and my personality and what I offered. Or maybe you've put it down there and I've missed it, but I think that would be important for people to know.
Oh, in your blog posts you're talking about?
Well, now that you're saying blog posts, maybe not, but it doesn't hurt for somebody. I mean, I don't know how you throw that in, but it's that.
Oh, in the newsletter, you mean? In the newsletter?
Well,
sometimes
in any place, as we're making this list, you know,
yeah, sometimes
so they can get to know and like you and trust you.
Yeah, sometimes I put them in the newsletter, but I do put them on my website, and I do put them on my blog. I usually put them there first. I'll have a whole blog post with the testimonial. You know, the blog post will be the testimonial.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, whenever you get them, you gotta, and this is something I was not good at. Like people would send me nice emails about, and I'd say, oh, that's nice. But I wouldn't, you know, save it and put it somewhere, you know, where. And the other thing is asking for testimonials. Now now I do that and I ask for testimonials, especially from my members and my students.
Okay, I have emailed those to both of you. I sent you mine and yours.
Ooh, thank you, Marty.
Yeah. All right. Well, good deal. I guess our time's up. That was perfect timing.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Y'all take care.
All right. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.